Let's see. Let's see if I can face you guys without blocking the light. I'm sitting out on the balcony at the girlfriend's house, so I hope that you guys can hear me pretty clear right now. Um, just conversing and talking with people online and whatnot, and just kind of getting to know people over the years has really opened my eyes to a lot of what's been going on. And there's a lot of things that, in general, I want to speak about that I can't speak about because I don't know what kind of effect it's going to have on me in my personal life. But the older I get and the deeper I get into this stuff, the more I realize I really don't care. I honestly don't care if certain, medical providers that we follow or keto gurus per se really care about what I have to say. Um, I just got done having a conversation with, well, it wasn't even really a conversation with Dr. Paul Saladino, the carnivore doctor that kind of slowly blowing up as time goes. Um, I used to be in conversation with Dr. Ken Berry from time to time. Back when I first started getting into all this, Dr. Berg wasn't really around at the time. And then I slowly seen him progress and come on scene. And then Thomas DeLauer. And then I started uh, becoming confused by all the limelight, all the social media butterflies. And um, I didn't know then what I know now. And I wish I would have, per se. Uh, when I first ran across Dr. Ken Berry's videos, I thought, man, this dude is a pretty honest stand up kind of guy, right? And I'm thinking to myself, this guy's got a lot of stuff to share. So I start, asking him, hey, would you like to come onto my keto group? Would you like to talk to the people on my keto group? I've got a couple of them that I run. One of them starting to come up real slowly. And then I started running another one at the same time that had substantially more. I was helping another group run it, and it was blowing up like crazy. So bringing Dr. Ken Berry onto, my group, I thought, man, this guy will have a lot to offer, right? So when he came onto the group, he talked about kind of vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, things like that, things that you should supplement or that you could supplement in what form and how much. And it was stuff that I pretty much had covered already with my keto group. The first time he came on, there wasn't nothing really that I hadn't already covered. And I wasn't a newbie at that point. I had been doing this for several years, and I just thought it would be really cool. Little did I know, a lot of me bringing, you know, the berry onto the group was just for social media boosting and following and stuff like that. It was never really the intention of putting any kind of serious time into somebody like me, with him being such a small guy on the totem pole. I thought maybe if I help this guy out, maybe he'll help me out. We can just spread the message on keto as much as possible. My group will kind of grow a little bit, and I could be more involved in those individuals' lives while he bounces around basically and helps these groups grow. And what ends up happening is a lot of promising going on, a lot of, hey, this weekend we'll get together and we'll do a live interview, we'll do a talk. I'll be here this weekend. Somebody else comes along that's more popular and stuff like that at the time, and then you get blown off. You're not really a person to them anymore. And then lots and lots and lots of promising and stuff going on while I'm still spreading the message, bringing them on. Oh, Dr. Ken Berry this, Dr. Ken Berry that. Little did I know, you're just another number. You're nobody at that point once they really start to get bigger and bigger. And as a group creator, you would think that you would be somebody to these people because you're helping get their message out there. And then, you know, on my YouTube channel, somebody had messaged in the comments section and said, hey, Dr. Ken Berry has been involved in all these citations and stuff with the medical board, and there's a lot of them. Could you try to get him to talk about this, because I'm a follower of his and I'm a Patreon of his, and I pay money to his Patreon, but I just find that he's never there anymore. He's not answering questions anymore. He's just not around anymore. And then, talking to his admin and stuff, realizing that he's not there for them anymore, and he's just out there trying to grow as fast as possible. But the people that mean the most to him aren't really getting their questions answered. They're not getting the help that they need running his groups. The Patreon people are getting neglected. And there's a number of things going on. So I just reached out to Ken immediately and said, hey, people are asking about these citations that you were involved in. And this is a really old, it was over a year old, where the thing with the medical board had closed out. People want to hear about this. Well, that never got addressed. His admin messaged him. He didn't do anything about it. People were messaging him. The comments were getting deleted. I messaged him, never responded. I messaged him again in a voice message, and the guy just completely ignored me. Well, finally, I got tired of it. And I went straight to him and said, dude, this is what I think about you. I think that you're doing a lot of this for fame chasing. I think you're doing a lot of this for you to build your Patreon as much as possible. I think you're doing this because you just want to be seen as a social media figure, and you come across as this nice country guy with this country accent living in this nice little country town, when really you're just after notoriety. You're after people to support you along the way and stuff like that. And some of that I added in through messaging over time, but the big long message that I sent him, I just basically laid it all out on the line. I told him, I think you used me, and as many other people have said in the past too, other group creators, you've used them as well to make it to the top and to kind of get out there as much as possible. I'm not saying that your work didn't help you get there, but you used a lot of people in the process that I'm just finding out you're not there for them anymore. You stepped on them to get where you wanted to go, instead of stepping with them and helping take them with you for helping you. So there were so many people involved with helping him get to where he's going, and he doesn't respect almost any of them. And then with people asking questions, can you talk to me about the citations that you were involved in, and the amount of times that he just kept sweeping it under the rug, deleting comments, and then his clinic, unfortunately, it burned up. I don't want to say too much about that. I don't think it's my place to. But then ironically, his home burns up after all that. And then people are like, dude, we remember that video you put out. And then the clinic thing happened. And then the home thing happened. What's going on here? Because none of this stuff is making any sense. Like, we were trying to defend him before, but now we're starting to see that there's a lot of shady stuff going on. And there's just nothing there to... nothing makes sense anymore. And now I'm noticing more and more people on social media are starting to say, this dude just seems off. There's just something wrong with this whole entire situation. Well, Dr. Berry's not out there doing studies and stuff like Benjamin Bickman and Tim Noakes and Feeney and Volek and, Georgia Eads and Fedke and stuff and all these other people. And then who do we have come on the scene? Dr. Berry switches his from keto to carnivore right about the time that Dr. Sean Baker starts to blow up, and he's becoming more popular. So then Berry jumps on the carnivore train. I made a video defending him because of the carnivore stuff, and people were almost coming to me saying, wait, you brought this dude on your group, and he was all about keto, and all of a sudden he's talking bad about keto now. And then I made a video saying he's not really talking bad about keto. He's talking about if you wanted to reset, if you wanted to try something, try it for 30 days, give it a shot. Try the carnivore diet. Well, I tried to do a lot of defending at the time, and man, was I stupid. I was stupid to put that much effort and time into somebody that didn't even respect me for what I was doing, and that used me partially to get where they're at, just like many other people. Recently, Paul Saladino, I found him when he had like 175, 200 subscribers. And I'm thinking to myself, here's another dude, young, really sounds like he knows his stuff. Let's go ahead and bring him on the group, and let's see if we can help him get to where he's going. Maybe he'll be different than Barry. Maybe he won't seem to be so using like Barry did. Well, man, was I wrong. I brought him on to do an interview, and then I let him come on the group and talk by himself for about 45 minutes. And then more and more people started to see his face and really get to know him. Well, then that was it. He completely forgot about the people that were helping him. He's going on podcasts, he's going on all these shows and stuff like that. He's going on these health programs and stuff. And then you message him, oh yeah, this weekend we'll do something. Oh yeah, this Friday we'll do something. Oh yeah, for sure we'll do an interview this, we'll do an interview that. And I'm messaging and messaging and messaging and nothing. Blowing me off, blowing me off, blowing me off. So I got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to go through the whole Barry thing all over again with Paul. I'm just going to let it roll. He's obviously a douchebag, and I obviously am not going to get anything out of this guy. It's just not going to work. Well, I still kind of had his back in the meantime. I was still watching out for his Facebook group when vegans were attacking his channel. I was still trying to defend him when people would say bad things about him because there was something inside me that still kind of respected him. And then, Frank Tufano, I started getting enough of him with his hands chopping all over the place and demanding that he be respected and be brought up front to the forefront of the table with the people that are like more of the respectful gurus in the carnivore diet. And I thought maybe that I was doing the right thing by just kind of staying away from this dude. And actually there was a lot of stuff Frank was saying that was actually happening that I was neglecting to see. I went back and started looking at the videos and stuff of what Paul was saying and what Frank was saying. And Frank had done videos where it was like a month or 2 months earlier than what Paul was even saying, and it was almost verbatim the exact verbiage that Frank was saying. So I was giving Paul a lot of credit when Frank had already done the pulling the Weston Price Foundation and using their information to put very good videos together and stuff. So I was giving Paul a lot of credit when really Frank had already said these things to begin with, almost word for word. So then, Paul comes along. He's not there. He's making promises. He's trying to schedule appointments. So recently, I just laid it on the line for Paul after this last video that Frank put out about calling him a rat, because he put out a video basically showing that he's using his videos word for word in the interviews and stuff that he's doing with some of these health channels. And I messaged Paul and I said, hey, look, Frank's got another video out. You better do something about it, dude. It ain't looking good with you just letting somebody talk about you like this and you're not defending yourself. You need to say something, address it. Oh, yeah, I heard. Like it was no big deal. So I just took the opportunity to tell him straight the same thing that I did with Ken. See, the last message I sent Ken, he said, I appreciate your forthright honesty. He didn't even try to defend himself because he knew what I was saying was true about him using people and about not responding to the medical citations and stuff. And I said the same thing to Paul. I said, I think it's pretty crappy that you use me to get where you want to go, just like you've used other people. And you say you're going to do these interviews and you're going to come on the group and you're going to talk to them and stuff like that because we were part of a stepping stone for you. And then you completely forgot about us and just walked away as if it was nothing, got caught up in the limelight, and then you just never were there anymore, ignoring comments and messages and not responding to anything for weeks on end. It's a pretty crappy thing to do when people help you get to where you're going and you don't respect them enough to be there for them. And he responded with, wow, this is kind of aggressive, and maybe you shouldn't message me no more. And I messaged him back, and I kind of misspelled some things, and I said, well, I don't have to message you. I can stop messaging you now. It just goes to show the way you responded. You just put your foot in your mouth. You just basically admitted that's exactly what you were doing. You didn't try to deny it or anything, because you know exactly what I was saying was true. And that was when Frank just got done making a video about calling Paul a rat. And then you got Berg. Everybody knows about Dr. Berg. He started out on the right track, nice and slow, kind of concerning, putting out great videos about everybody, really helping people and stuff like that. All of a sudden becomes the most popular keto doctor on the internet. And now here come the supplements. He's got a supplement for your big toe hurting. He's got a supplement for your ingrown butt hair or whatever it is. He's got a supplement for everything. And don't worry about it. It's going to get mentioned by the end of the video. But everybody says, well, he's not forcing you. He's not forcing you to take the product. Well, he's not forcing you to take the product, but he's got 3.5 million followers. He doesn't have to force anybody to take the product. All he has to do is mention it, and he's going to make $100,000 that month on stuff that he's promoting. I mean, let's get real here. There's another YouTuber that broke down his income, and it was something like $300,000 $250 to $300,000 a month in monetization, and then like another so many hundreds of thousands of dollars with his little small book, not including the supplementation and the seminars and stuff he puts on. I mean, no wonder why he quit practicing being a doctor. He was also another one that went through the whole medical citation, or he got in trouble with the medical board and stuff as well. He was a he was a functioning, practicing chiropractor, but he also got hit by the medical board for some stuff in the past that Vegan Gains actually did a video on him getting hit by the medical board because of malpractice stuff. So here's another doctor that we're seeing that got in trouble with the medical board, that all of a sudden doesn't practice anymore, turns to a social media butterfly, and starts to make all his money based off his videos, the content he puts out, and pushing supplements in his $500 a ticket minimum seminars. You know, guys, enough is enough. And these are the ones that I'm speaking of right now are the biggest ones on social media, and they're not even the ones doing the most work. Who's the other guy? Thomas DeLauer, fitness guy. He's not. I think he's like a personal trainer or something like that at most. Maybe some kind of something with nutrition, but I think he was just an article writer at the time. I think he used to be like 280 or 300 pounds, and he started fasting and doing keto style diets. But again, another guy that has his hand in everything: ads, supplement products, pay my this, or go subscribe to this, go on my email list for this. Here's a $300 this, a $500 that. I mean, we could backtrack here, look at the people that are actually doing the work: Dr. Stephen Feeney, Dr. Jeff Volek, Benjamin Bickman, Tim Noakes, Georgia E. All these people that are like really out there doing the lab work, doing the testing, doing the studying. Dr. DiNicola Antonio, Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, the doctors that are not out there pounding people with subscriptions and money and this and that actually are doing the work for these other doctors to put out. I mean, how much more the Weston Price Foundation, people that are doing all this stuff, these are the people that we should be putting our time into. These are the people that we should be telling, hey, go check out Dr. D's this, go check out Georgia Eads this, go check out, Dr. Eric Westman's this, or Stephen Feeney or Jeff Volek's this. These are the people that we should really be heavily pushing towards other people, but instead all we see on social media are the ads from these social butterfly doctors: Barry, Berg, Saladino. Then you got stuff from Thomas DeLauer popping up. These are what we see. These are what we see social media putting all the money and stuff into. So naturally, this is what we get exposed to. The people not doing the research, the people not doing the work, and the people that are using everybody else's information to get in front of a camera and put out to you because they have a southern accent or they got a nice beach body, because that's the stuff that sells. And I'm getting sick and tired of seeing it, because we float around the internet and say, oh no, go check out Dr. B's this. Dr. Ken Berry's one of the best doctors ever. Well, Dr. Ken Berry's one of the best doctors ever because that's really all you know. You don't know anything different. You don't know about these other doctors that are actually doing the work, that are studying cholesterol and stuff like that, like Dave Feldman. Dave Feldman is at the head of all the lipid stuff, the cholesterol stuff, but we don't talk about him. He's so small that we don't realize most of the work that's getting done in the lean mass hyperresponder studies and stuff like that, and cholesterol and how to lower it and increase it and what diets affect what, are coming from cholesterolcode.com. But people don't know that because we don't talk about it. We talk about the same doctors over and over again. The social keto doctor butterflies, the one everybody wants to work with, and let them come to my this, and I even messaged what's his name? I forget the dude's name. He's one of the. It's a program that's put on every year, and I had asked him what he thought about. Man, they put on several keto events, seminars where people come out and talk, and I had messaged him and I said, hey, is it Ask Adapt? I'm not even sure. I think it was the dude from Ask Adapt, not Dr. Eric Westman, but the other guy. I had messaged him and I said, hey, look, I want to make a video talking about a lot of stuff that I'm concerned with, and I'm not going to say anybody's name yet. This was when I first started thinking about this over a year ago, and I want to let people know, coming from the perspective that somebody independent like me that's not bought, that doesn't get paid by doctors and supporters and backers and stuff like that, I want to be able to talk about this stuff. So, do you think, that it would be a good idea to bring this up and talk about it? How could I approach it? And the guy responded to me, said, you know what? I don't think it would be a good idea for you to message it at all. You know why? Because if I would have said anything about that, that would have messed up the possibility of somebody working or speaking at one of their seminars, because it may have made somebody that was lined up look bad to be at one of their seminars, and it would have made the whole foundation that they stand on weaker. Isn't it kind of funny how all this works out? We talk about how standard pharma and medical practices and everything else, and how crooked they are, and how swaying they are, and how they are money hungry, and it's all about the money. But we can look at these different diets, and no matter how sincere certain doctors are, there's always a few in that group that are more money hungry than the rest of them. There are always a few in that group that are more interested in rising to the top of fame and stuff like that than everybody else. I had spoke about this about a year and a half ago, and I got attacked for it. Literally, I had messages for almost a week. Oh my God, you can't talk about my doctor like that. You can't say this and you can't say that. You can't. I can't believe you're saying that. This guy saved my life. Yeah, but there are a lot of other doctors that could have saved your life as well, given you better information that actually do the work. If you would have just known about them, but because they don't jump on social media and promote themselves, Dr. Jason Fung is one of the most docile doctors that I've seen talk at all, but he's one of the most knowledgeable when it comes to certain things. I was just having a conversation tonight with a guy from Prove It. He's a big coach that's got thousands and thousands of people that follow him, talking about PTKs, and how just having PTKs in your diet alone outperforms the ketogenic diet. And I said, wait a second, PTKs are pure, pure therapeutic ketones. So you're telling me that for weight loss, I could just eat whatever I want and just take pure therapeutic ketones, and that alone would outperform being on a ketogenic diet as the foundation. And this is a huge coach with Prove It. And they were like, well, he was like, yeah, the science says so. As long as you're taking PTKs, you could lose more weight no matter what the diet is. And I was like, dude, you are so full of crap, man. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't care how big of a coach you are. You are so full of crap. I was like, I highly, highly disagree with you. And I'll take that to my grave. You're not going to just take ketones and be on any kind of diet. Well, the science says otherwise, because you're 3 to 5 years behind the science. The new science says if you take ketones while you're on any diet, you're going to lose 400% more weight. What? What are you talking about? This makes absolutely no sense. People have tried this. People have tried the ketones with a ketogenic diet, and it doesn't increase anything. This is another selling gimmick for somebody that's popular in the keto field, that want to be known for something, and they want to make a ton of money in the process selling gimmicks. More snake oil salesmen. So, guys, I know a lot of you don't want to hear what I have to say when it comes to this stuff. And I told you I wouldn't bash people anymore. And I'm really not bashing people. I'm just telling you the history over the last few years of me dealing with all this stuff, trying to be open and honest with you. And I think I'm at a point in my life now where my subscriber base has gotten to a pretty decent amount, even on, Facebook, YouTube, to where I can be open with you. And I think at least you know that I'm telling the truth, and I've been around long enough now to where you respect what I have to say, or the majority of you. And these are the facts. These guys can't deny this stuff. If any one of them wanted to deny it, they couldn't come forth, and they could not say anything against what I have to say. They couldn't even prove anything against what I have to say. If Barry came forth and said anything, I've got screenshots on the text messages and the voice messages where I'm asking him about these things, where I'm calling him out about these things. If Paul had anything to say, I've got all the text messages in writing where they can't defend anything. It's there. I wanted to do a live where you can see my face, where you can see how real and sincere I am about this stuff and how I'm looking out for you. Quit following all this craziness because the guy's got a nice smile, he's got a nice body, he's got a nice southern accent. Follow the information. Follow the people that do the studies. Follow the people that have been doing this since 1980. Follow the people that have been doing this longer than that. These are the people you're going to get the best information from. These are the people that are going to be real with you. These are the people that create the information that a lot of these other doctors are using to become social butterflies, these little social butterflies that you latch onto and that you want to see. You know, Berg, I went on Dr. Berg's Facebook group when he first created it. And I think he had about 3,000 or 4,000 people within the first few days or week or something like that. And there were tons of people coming on asking questions that were just not getting answered. So I started answering all them questions for them. You know what Berg would do at the end of the day? About the last hour, probably before he would go to bed, he would come on, he would try to answer a bunch of questions, but it was always pushing a supplement or a video that had something linked to a supplement. It was never like really raw, answer my question, thank you for your time, none of that. It was always a video that had a supplement in it, or this supplement, or this calcium supplement, or this cruciferous supplement, or something would, and that's what put me off about Berg right away. I gave him a chance. I wanted to see what he acted like in, in his own little private setting in his group, and it was the same thing, if not worse. So I walked away. 7 to 10 cups of vegetables per day. Don't nobody want to eat like a rabbit. And the Delaware with him blowing up with all these different supplement lines and everything else that he's involved with, man, and that he almost negates himself when he talks about it. He will say one thing and then in another video almost contradict himself. And then he'll do something in one video and it almost seemed like he lied about something in another video. Ah, I ain't got time for all that stuff. I just wanted to be honest with you guys and talk to you about it and just kind of tell you what's been going on the last few years. And just be 100% straight with you. Nobody talks about these things. Nobody lays it out like this. Nobody's as sincere about this when they talk about it. Frankie's been calling them out. I said, you know what? I'm just going to speak openly about everybody that I know of. And these are the people that I have an issue with. And if any of these people got an issue with me, you can message me directly if you're not cowards. My email's in the description box of every one of them. You want to sue me, you can sue me too. I've got messages from yous